Welcome back to another Minute Monday. I'm Jay from Merged, and today we are talking about podcasting. Huge trend that a lot of businesses are hopping on in 2019, and it's only going to keep going in 2020. There are a few things you need to consider when you start your podcast, and today I'm going to bring in our own podcasting expert, David Louch. Awesome, so we're talking podcasting, and there's a few things that we do need to consider when starting a podcast, starting with
Absolutely. So the title. So the key here and the idea here is not to spend too much time on the title. If you want to call it your own name, so the David Louch Podcast, go ahead. That's great. If you already have a brand like we do and you want to use your brand as the podcast name, that's perfect too. People spend too much time on this specific step that they don't ever get started.
Yeah.
Pick something simple and move on. You can always change it later if you don't like it.
Next, description.
Yeah, so the description, this is the second most important part in my opinion. This is what people are going to read and ultimately decide if this is a show that they want to listen to. iTunes and all of these other platforms that you're going to be putting your podcast on, they work like search engines. So make sure you add in those keywords that you want people to search for and find your podcast.
And what's the typical length that a description should be?
Yeah, so not too long. I would say probably around 250 words, something pretty short, just a little short paragraph.
But making sure you're capturing those keywords that you want to be optimizing for, right?
Absolutely, but don't go crazy with the keywords and fill it with as many keywords as possible because you got to remember human beings are reading these descriptions, so you don't want it to sound too keywordy.
Awesome. Yeah. Keywordy. Like the new word.
New word.
Hashtaggy, keywordy. Okay, lastly, artwork.
Artwork, yeah. So again, now this is what people are going to see before they start listening to your podcast, similar to the description, but it's going to be the visual that go along with your podcast. So you want it to represent yourself or your brand, so what you do and what you're going to be speaking about. And when you're creating it, you want to make sure that you're creating it 3,000 by 3,000 pixels, and that's pretty much it for the artwork.
What's the artwork for our podcast?
We do not yet have it, but it is in the works.
That's 1 minute, maybe a little more, but we'll catch you next week.